Amigo.
Okay, so we're back for another retro game challenge. This is Jorge.
Oh, this is Rowdy forgetting that the mic was live.
In your defense, as soon as you started doing it, I'm like, oh my god, that's good. I gotta start recording. So what we're doing something newish. All right.
Ish.
Now,
Or as I like to call it, newtro.
yeah. In fact, actually,
Newtro gaming challenge.
we are actually doing something where I guess you could call it newtro. I think we're gonna coin that term. We're gonna say that we created that term right now.
I like
new games that are made to look like retro games.
I like to think that I did. I like to think that I came up with newtro because, like, when Pepsi started doing the new cans that looked old,
Right.
I was calling them newtro.
Okay.
So I like to think that I came up with it, but who knows?
Well, I've never heard of anyone use it before, so we're coining it right here and now. All right, so
Coined.
it blows my mind that going through school, you never encountered Oregon Trail.
Well, it's not. We had it, and kids played it.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch them, and it didn't interest me because the other game that we had on the computers is. Do you know in the movie Big, the computer game?
I haven't seen the whole movie Big.
Well, in the beginning, it's only the very beginning. Have you seen the very, very beginning?
I've not seen any of the movie Big.
Oh, any of the. I thought you said okay. Sorry. Anyways, he's playing this game, and I can't remember what it's called, but we had that game on the computer, and it was like a text-based adventure where you type and da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
We also had that game on the computer, so anytime I had a chance to play, I played that game. Because it interested me a hell of a lot more than getting some schmucks
Right.
across the country.
All right, well, I just hit play, and so this is going to be your first ever experience looking at Oregon Trail.
Essentially.
So, yeah, for me, going through this is like a big keystone of my childhood because I went through school, and the big reward was be able to like fight your way, to the computer so you could get to play Oregon Trail, even though it was like looking back, it's kind of not great. But here's where the newtro comes in.
Newtro.
Well,
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Now, both of these are educational games. Now,
Extremely.
Oregon Trail, to let you guys know what Oregon Trail is, this is what the website where you can play this says. Oregon Trail was an edutainment game developed in 1971. Schools across America use this game as a teaching tool to prepare children for the impending zombie apocalypse and dysentery.
Yeah. Death by diarrhea.
Yep. All right, so you can see we've got the juxtaposition going. So this is now the beginning of Oregon Trail again. It's going to be so hard, and
it's hard. It's hard to differentiate to go say Oregon Trail and Oregon Trail. Like, we really should say Oregon in
Right.
Oregon.
So as I'm putting this together, I decided because we were doing Oregon Trail and Oregon Trail, I was going to try to keep everything Walking Dead based. So you can see I've got Herschel, Maggie, Otis, but then I forgot everybody else who was in Herschel's camp. So I created Josephine. And here's a flaw with Oregon Trail. Like, I wanted to create Jimmy Joe Bob. But apparently when you get to the end there, that's all you get to Jimmy Joe, and then it's end. So I just settled for Joe Bob. And of course, Oregon Trail, I didn't even look at the other options. As soon as I saw a cop from Kentucky,
Yeah, well,
I knew I wanted to be Rick.
I mean,
So-
just in case anybody out there hasn't figured it out, Jorge and I just have massive hard-ons for Walking Dead.
Yes.
Just massive hard-ons.
So here's where we begin. Now, this is the beginning now. Oregon Trail starts in Missouri, I believe. Missouri or Minnesota. Something with an M.
I think
Missouri?
it's Missouri to Oregon.
And then you got to go to Matt's General Store here. And this is Matt over here on the left side. And he tells you you've got to get oxen to pull your wagon. You need to get clothing for your group. Well, why not?
Well, the chick's hot.
No.
No, then yes. They probably need razors too.
Right. And you need plenty of food, you need ammunition, and you need spare parts for your wagon.
Yep.
Now, here you are starting Oregon Trail. You're in Washington, D.C. It's about ready to get nuked. So you have a limited amount of time before the nuke falls to get it. And now, look at the guy you're getting your shit from.
He looks like Enzio from Assassin's Creed.
So you need to get gas for your station wagon. You need to get medical kits for your team, food, and as soon as there we go, ammo, spare parts, and some cash to use for trading as you go along.
Really, in the zombie, I mean, just think about it. Do you want, like, is cash going to be in the monetary system?
Maybe, maybe not.
I think antibiotics would be.
Probably. Yeah, it's a good point. So here's the map of the Oregon Trail showing the distance in which you would travel. And here is the road in the Oregon Trail. I love the fallout zones.
Yeah. Yep. I love but the thing is also, they nuked the least populated areas.
Yeah, like the heartland when there's no people. There's like nuke the shit out of it.
It's like, do the zombies instinctually go to where there's no people?
So in Oregon Trail, they have a picture for all the locations, and there are lots of river locations. I didn't feel like showing anything else other than that. They also have a couple for Oregon Trail. This is Indianapolis. And this is the mall from Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, nice.
So, yeah, that's a fun-looking mall.
Yeah, that's where I'd want to shop.
So, yeah, as you're playing both games, to treat you about life, what it was like in the Oregon Trail, they would give you some, common things like a blizzard, pieces of your wagon break, and then of course you'd have the problems where people in your group would get sick. Like, let's see, I'm sure we're going to have this in a moment, where Joe Bob has got a broken leg. People get hurt along the trail.
Shoot him. The first time I played Oregon,
Maggie gets dysentery.
God, seriously,
and now,
death by diarrhea.
And I think, and Maggie has died. Maggie has died via diarrhea. Now,
you get the Griswold family wagon.
Ones. Yeah, we got the Griswold family wagon. They have similar ones, and now Shane, he gets bitten by the zombie. This is your biggest problem because now you got to deal with Shane. Well, what the game lets you do, you get a chance to deal with that before he becomes a problem. And I was excited because I'm like, ooh, Shane gets bitten. I get to take care of Shane. So,
well, don't worry. Lori's gonna fucking hate you for killing Shane even though she asked you to do it.
Well, it depends on what you like. You only like me. I read the comic, so. This is in the comic, and she doesn't care. But anyway, Shane gets put down by Rick. But then, of course, immediately, Carl gets bitten, Lori gets bitten as I play in this game. So my entire group has been bitten, other than Andrea. So I have to put down Carl, I got to put down Lori, and now it's just Rick coasting along with Andrea.
Hey, she's way hotter than Lori anyway.
It's true. In both games, you encounter grave sites along the road. This is Oregon Trail's grave site, where... you find Connie. It's sad.
Who's Connie?
Who fucking knows?
Oh. Well, I want some backstory.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get the same thing in the Oregon Trail, where you see a gravestone, and you get Here Lies Andy, pepperoni and cheese. Awesome.
Oh!
So, and there's my transition point where you do some hunting, and that was what the kid wanted to do in Oregon Trail. It wasn't about learning about the Oregon Trail. You wanted to go out and you wanted to shoot some buffalo. So you get in the screen, and what I had forgotten is that you can't move.
So you're telling me you can't move?
You're in a stationary spot, and you can turn, but then all of these barriers, you can't shoot through them.
So you pretty much
you've got grassy areas, you can't shoot through them.
So you pretty much just fucked where you are right now.
Yeah. Like in this spot where I'm spawned, I'm SOL completely, just out of luck. And then you just get to the point where you just get so frustrated, you just start spinning around in circles.
Kind of like in Halo.
Yeah.
Can you start teabagging things?
And you just kind of hope for you get a situation with like what's coming up here in a moment. Yep, got the squirrel. Got a squirrel.
Yeah, that'll be...
and then you get a charging buffalo. But look at this. I shoot over the buffalo, so I got to wait until I can hit it on a diagonal. Here's another infuriating thing. You shoot a buffalo, you can only take 100 pounds back. You've got 900 pounds of meat. You only take 100 back to your family. The nice thing about Oregon Trail is that you can move. And also the little guy's got a hat like Rick.
Yeah.
And then in come the zombies. They start out slow at first. You got a little guy coming in very easily.
Well, this guy hit. Don't worry about this little guy.
And then you can see little food items. I think that's a can of beans there. They just popped up. They start. Then suddenly more zombies come in. You gotta figure out how to use your surroundings because they're just gonna beeline for you. You gotta just try to get them to get blocked off by things, and hopefully not get in a situation where they come at you from all sides like this.
So don't. So yeah, do. Yeah. The opposite. Is it a shopping cart?
That is a shopping cart.
Nice.
The Oregon Trail's version of the buffalo is the shopping cart. And, of course, you can only ever bring back 200 ounces of food, no matter how much you've got. Another big part is fording rivers in the Oregon Trail. So you could sometimes you end up like sinking down in the river and you lose something. So like, Oregon Trail has something way better.
Yes.
And that would be fording through a horde of zombies.
Yeah.
Shooting through them outside of your station wagon.
And you lost. And Andrea is dead.
Yep. And now both games have like the big finale screen. Like in Oregon Trail, you put your wagon on a raft and you take the raft down a river. You get an option where you can get out of this by just going a little longer on the trail, but you've been going on the trail for so long. But if you've conned your teacher into letting you play this game for an hour, the teacher's like tapping on her watch saying, "You better finish up pretty damn soon, kid, or else no recess time for you."
Yeah. Or we're not having sex today.
Because that would happen in elementary school.
Unfortunately. Are you actually dodging? Are you like making?
Yeah. You're using the arrow keys to dodge the rocks in the river, and then you have to get over to where the tracks are on the shore to end the game. But again, Oregon Trail has something better. You are outside at the very end of the safe zone in Oregon, and you have to get. For some reason, there's just random tanks of gas like lying around in the scattered field, and you need to collect them and throw them in a generator. When you first start off, it seems fairly easy, and then, just like before with the hunting, the zombies come.
Yep.
And of course, at the beginning, they're few, they're easily picked off, and then they start to multiply. They figured out there's some victuals that can be
some tasty treats.
And then again, you get in situations where you can get pinned.
Yeah, you don't want to get pinned. Not by a zombie.
But then if you get back to your station wagon, suddenly all those people that you killed along the way come back to life, and they help shoot things out of the car so you don't die. Like suddenly Shane, Lori, Carl, they're alive again, and they're helping you shoot zombies.
I mean, has there ever been a more useless character than Carl?
I'm telling you, man.
I know it's different in the comic. I'm not reading the comic.
He's a badass in the comic. The kid is awesome.
I gotta start reading that.
This audio portion has been removed because Jorge and Rowdy are stupid and talked about stuff they don't want spread over the web. Enjoy the silence.
So at the very end, they take a tally of how much you have left. And me, I had like at the very end, Andrea even got bitten. So my entire crew is infected. But fared a little better in Oregon Trail at the very end because when they did the tally, I had way more stuff. Because let's face it, fording to the west when there are no zombies. Way easier than trying to get through the zombie apocalypse.
Zombies make everything more difficult.
So I actually made it into the Oregon top 10. I got 7th place in the Oregon top 10.
Nice. Are those real people?
I hope so, or otherwise this is a really sad achievement for me.
Achievement unlocked. Virgin.
So that is Oregon Trail, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll have those links in the link dump or underneath the YouTube video. So go ahead and check those out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
All right.
I like that.
All right, so this is Jorge.
This is Rowdy.
And this has been Retro Game Challenge.
Deuces.
To contact us, email Jorge at jorgeshome.net or Rowdy at jorgeshome.net. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and to check out jorgeshome.net for more content.